למשל, אני רוצה בישראל, אני רוצה באמריקה, או באיזה מקום בעולם, על עצים, או בתוך הים, או על חוף הים, או במדבר, או או בשמיים, או על העננים. I came first to the village, I think, in 1994. Yeah, it was a very small village, I think 15 families only. Even though in my nature I'm more a man of the city, because I like the noise of the city and the action and the cinema, the theater, the coffee houses. But we thought that for the children it's better to be here. So now that they are growing, maybe in a few years we will go back to Tel Aviv.
But for now, Chezi and his wife Ruth live in this house overlooking the valley.
I was very involved in the issues of the village until 2 years ago. But it gets up to here. You know, it's a small village with a lot of problems, a lot of people always... a lot of politics, inside politics. It's not connected to the Jewish-Arab conflict in Israel, not at all.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I don't agree with you.
Okay.
We have a problem of a small village, and you can add on it the problem of being two societies that try to live together. Even our two nations are fighting and bleeding. You know, it's a conflict. It's a bleeding conflict. It's not so easy. So we have some issues. For example, I can talk about one issue: the language. I think that the Arabs in the village, the Palestinians, Arabs, are very mad about us, the Jewish, because we don't talk Arabic. We don't know Arabic. You know, I live here many years and I still don't speak Arabic fluently, because the language is, you know, it's a very important. It's not just the language. It's a part of the culture. It's part of the identity. So if we, the Jewish, we don't learn Arabic, so something is wrong.
אני גם אוהבת את הבית שיש לי
בס בלווארה אל אולה, רק בדף הראשון. אל תעברו דף.
The school might promote the Arabic language to the Jewish children, but what about the Jewish teachers? Tomorrow they'll be confronting their own language barriers. This track behind the village is the old road to Jerusalem. It was used by Jewish forces in the 1940s as they fought their way slowly towards the city. It lies next to a woodland, the scene of a much older history. There's a Byzantine monastery under this forest, and each day children from different grades come to dig. It's part of the history curriculum.
This is what they found. Look at how beautiful. See how excited they are? Now they know that people have gone, that have passed this place.
Reem's taking this class on her own. Chezi's not here. He's in another class, this time as a student. Faiz Mansour, the head teacher, runs a lunchtime Arabic language class for the Jewish teachers. Today they're writing and learning a song in Arabic that they'll sing at the end of the week's concert. The arrangement's traditional, lyrics by assistant head Eti Edlund.
أهلا يا أولاد نغني مع بعض نغني مع بعض وموרים مع المعلمين تصيروا حلوات زي البطيخ בסדר? حلوين
تصيروا حلوين زي الياسمين.
לא, בטיח זה יצחיק אותם, אנחנו צריכים להצחיק אותם קצת. أهلا يا أولاد بطيخ خلوا عمركم برا بعيد راح تسوقوا نجم جديد. يفه لا؟
מה זה יפה?
We have a problem in our school.
the model that the children receive from the adults is that the language of communication is Hebrew. And we want to give a message that Arabic is very important. And that's why we want to learn. Even the teacher have to learn. We think in this situation, very bad situation in Israel, it is good to have such schools where Jewish and Palestinian children can learn together and be together.
Only one more day of school before the weekend, but it's going to be a big day for the children and the teachers. How will their song go down?
The news on Thursday, the 23rd of November. Fighting between militants and Israeli troops in Gaza has claimed the lives of a 10-year-old Palestinian boy and a militant filming the clashes. A third Palestinian died of wounds sustained in earlier violence. It wasn't immediately known whether he was a militant or a civilian.
The school week finishes today. Later there'll be the results of the student council elections and the concert. But before that, Reem and Chezi bring grade 5 together.
אנחנו רוצים לסכם את השבוע, ומי שיש לו משהו להגיד על מה שהיה לו, או מה שהיה בכלל, ואיך הוא מרגיש, אז בבקשה, ומי שמתחיל זה... בלעברי, יעני, היום אתה חצי העברית.
בערבי. אבל היא תמיד אומרת. היה לי שבוע יפה, והזמן אותי שירים לא הוציאה אותם בהפסקה. ומה?
רים לא הוציאה אותה להפסקה.
כן, אסבוע.
البنات يجروا ورا الأولاد والأولاد يجروا ورا البنات ولعبنا
مين بحب يترجمه بالعبراني؟
ואני בהפסקה היה קבר שרדף שהבנות רצו על אחרי הבנים והבנים אחרי הבנות. זה ברור. חיי שרה.
شكرا أوفير. تفضلي هلا أنت قولي. مين ما حكاش؟
איתי.
تفضل خيزي.
לי היה שבוע מאוד קשה. לרים גם היה שבוע קשה, כי היא כל הזמן הייתה צריכה לרוץ מהכיתה לכיתה, ובקושי היו לה הפסקות, ובקושי הספיקה לאכול משהו. אז אם יש לכם בעיות, אל תבואו אלינו בהפסקות.
شكرا لكم.
أوكي.
هلا بهدوء. اقعدوا عشان اوزعه. لا انا بوزعه. اقعدوا انا بوزعه. باي. باي. Thank God. There, the week is over.
That's the end of formal classes. Now for the fun. First, the election results. The returning officer is Reem Arafat.
مجلس الرياضة ريم محمد جبر ومؤيد.
Next, it's the concert.
الهدف منها مولد نجم نشجع الطلاب على اللغة العربية إنه يحكوا في اللغة العربية.
There's anticipation in the air. How will the teachers perform? Will all the work they put in on Tuesday pay off?
ايكي ايش هذا؟ ايش اللي بتعملوه؟ مش هذا يا رائدة. استنوا شوي. مش هذا هدفنا اليوم، احنا عندنا اغنية جديدة بدنا نغنيها. بدنا نغني تنشيخي، احنا بدنا نفرجيكم الغنيوة الحقيقية اللي حضروها المعلمات والمعلمين. يلا.
And with that, it's the end of school for the week. This evening, Chezi is coming over to Reem's house for a meal. They're good friends as well as colleagues. They see eye to eye on most things, but did they ever have any disagreements?
Political issues we never did have. Maybe agreement on what to do with children.
Yeah, sometimes about how to deal with children that are
You know, one would say do this and the other wouldn't know that I said this. And I'd say no and he had already said yes. That's the main... So I'd say, Chezi, what did you do? And he'd say, okay, I didn't know that you didn't want this to happen. And I say, I know them more than you do. I know these kids. I've been their teacher for a whole year. And he says, why don't you loosen up? Leave them, right? Yeah. He'd say, okay, leave them, loosen up a little bit.
We are not taking things seriously. We prefer to laugh about it.
Even the children feel it, and they also, between them, among them, they start feeling easy about each other. But if we do fight in class, or we show them that I'm against him or he's against me, then they're ready they'll catch on and we'll see fighting in class. And that happens if you're not in agreement with the other teacher. I'm concerned about the Arabs, that they should communicate in their language. That's my main concern, and because it's a bilingual, binational school, so I'd like the Arab language to be as much equal as the Hebrew language in the school. It's very important for me.
And sometimes I'm teasing them, because how come that the Arabs knows Hebrew so good and you must talk Arabic?
So what makes this school different?
Let's say in our school, it's the only place that you can bring up the issue, the conflict, everything, and speak up freely. I don't think in Arab schools that anybody would dare to talk about the Palestinian issue as freely as in our school.
It's not obvious, this kind of school.
They're not aware of in other schools, in Jewish schools, they're not aware that there's another side living, and there's a conflict with them on the land. In this school, parents that send their children to this school, they want their children to know about the other side. The other side is the Palestinian people, that there were people, and there was a land, and on this land there were people. And the main subject is that we want to live with them in peace.